Mr. McIntosh, you called about a ghost problem?
Yes, please. Step into my office. Thank you for coming. Would you like my assistant to get you anything? Nah, I'm good. So you said that there is a ghost problem at the Hotel Jacaranda? Oh, it's hardly a secret. Frankly, I'm surprised you haven't investigated it before. The hotel's been haunted since the 1920s. Well, I did some general research and I haven't seen any dangerous activity there. No injuries, no illnesses, no deaths or near-death experiences, other than an old woman who slipped in the shower. That ghost has definitely threatened me. Last time I was there, my tires were aired out, my suitcase went missing, and when I woke up in the morning, all the mirrors in my room were shattered. Could have been kids or a feeding maid. We checked the security cameras. No one touched my car, my suitcase went missing, and the mirrors shattered while I was in the room. So unless that maid is invisible, it was the ghost. That is concerning. Don't take this the wrong way, but sometimes ghosts lash out because they've been provoked, even if the living didn't actually do anything harmful or insulting. Can you think of any way you may have caused disrespect, real or imagined? I mean, I have been trying to purchase the place for a while. The same family's owned it for 100 years, which is impressive, but they aren't able to turn it into a real moneymaker the way that I am. Okay, so the ghost may be angry that you're planning to tear down their haunt. Oh, I'd never remodel it, to be sure, but no tearing. It's a beautiful historic building on fantastic grounds. It just needs more experienced and refined management. All right, well, I'll go over and check it out. I'd recommend staying away from the hotel and not making any more offers until I'm done, just to be safe. Whoa. Let us through. We're in the middle of a criminal investigation. Fuck off. How is possibly murderous ghost the lesser problem? What's going on? Some sort of protest? ICE is trying to kidnap my employees, and probably me and my family too. Luckily, the neighborhood came out to stop them. You're Mrs. Costello? You run the hotel? Yes. We are conducting a criminal investigation of this hotel. Then show me a warrant signed by a judge. Are you the owner of this hotel? Show me a warrant. All right, we need to question you. Do not touch my mother. Well, back up. You're interfering with a criminal investigation. We're not. You need a warrant. We've got a warrant. Then show it to us. Show us your faces, too, and your names and badge numbers if you're legit law enforcement. That is not necessary. Well, then how do we know you're not some random kidnapper? We are not random kidnappers. We're law enforcement. So let's see those pretty faces.
You do not have my permission to record, and will someone shut up that priest?
You shall treat the stranger who sojourns with you as the native among you, and you shall love him as yourself, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt. That would be Father Paul. Most of these people are from his congregation. If you have a warrant, then show it to me. Is that a marching band? We said they could practice here until 9 p.m., and it is currently 3. They don't sound great. They very much need to practice. Fuck's sake, let's go. Are we gonna arrest any of them? You wanna try? Yay! I think one of their vans has flat tires. Oh, that was probably a boiler. Who? My grandfather. He's a ghost. Thank you all for your support. My staff is giving everyone little red tickets. Cash it in for half off of anything in our restaurant. All right, you said that you were another type of investigator? Yes, ma'am. I'm a ghost investigator. Someone called concerned about your grandfather. Whoa, you're trying to get rid of Abuelo? What? I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. So I take it you're all descendants of this ghost? Well, Abuelo is the one who started the hotel. He bought it with his wife when Nana's dad was a baby right after World War I. My grandparents came up from Guatemala to work the factories. When the war finished, they stayed and used the money they'd saved to start this hotel. But he never got to run it. Abuelo died within a year, tuberculosis. And I'm assuming that's when the haunting started? Sure. Cold spot, sightings of a shadowy man in 1920s wear at night, singing. He loves music. When my daughter was little, she'd have tea time with him and her stuffed animals. It was adorable. And it wasn't pretend. I saw him, but then I stopped seeing him a few years ago, even though I know he's still there. Well, that's pretty common. Kids are more susceptible to the supernatural, so they tend to see ghosts more easily. Now, I did speak to someone who seems to have been threatened by a ghost in your hotel. Macintosh. That man is a living plague. He mentioned wanting to buy this place. Oh, yes, he's been making offers for years now. First, it was just bigger and bigger numbers. I told him we're flattered, but the Hotel Jacaranda is a family business. Yeah, I'm going to take it over. As soon as I finish college, I'm doubling in event and hospitality management. Those are actual degrees? Yeah, and I barely need to pull any loans because this hotel already does so well. I don't know what Macintosh was talking about making it a real moneymaker under his leadership. He wants to lay everyone off, hire cheaper workers for lower wages, replace the more communal events with ticket items or things that require room reservations. What? It's to squeeze out every penny, all right? Keep more for himself, even if the hotel as a whole takes a nosedive. Oh, fuck that. Sorry, Nina. Well, after we kept turning him down, we started getting the police called on us. Always anonymous tips, always for things like noise complaints, minor traffic violations. One time we had an inspector come with a tip that our patio wasn't up to code. It is. Then a couple months ago, I started sniffing around. Well, looks like you guys have pretty solid backup. Oh yes, our whole neighborhood adores this hotel. We're across the street from our church, and Father Paul started a whole congregation-wide chat room to summon everyone as soon as ICE arrives. My son was in the Marines before he became my accountant, and his friends came to town in their uniforms to play bodyguard. We get discounts and freebies to anyone who helps us protest, and we make sure our employees are always hiding in the back. Even so, about a third of them have quit and left town out of fear. Okay, I don't care about citizenship status. I'm just clarifying. You hire mostly Latin and Hispanic staff? Of course. We come from immigrants. We need to pay that forward. And all this mess is interfering with our business. We have so many events in October because of Halloween and being haunted. And also All Saints Day. That's the Guatemalan Day of the Dead? Yes, the old tradition is to fly massive handmade kites the size of bed sheets and movie theater screens. We've got a smaller version of that here. We host a free kite making day in the lobby, although we do charge for food and beverage and encourage people to bring their own art materials since we provide only the basics. Then we go down the streets, the cemetery to fly them, and then picnic there in the evening. We don't have many Latinos in town, but it's a big tradition here. The kids especially love it. Yeah, unless Abuelo gets yeeted. I will need a very good reason to do that. I need to talk to your staff and some of the community here. Okay, so when did you see the ghost? Oh, this summer. The hotel hosts a book club specifically for horror books and scary stories. I think the owner's brother started it. He's a horror writer now himself. Good stuff. Anyway, if it's cold, we meet in here, but in summer, we meet by the fire pit and roast s'mores. So I was sitting in this chair right by the fire, and at first, it was just, ash and cinders and sparks and whatever. But after about an hour where I haven't moved, no one else got close enough to do this, I look down and I see that someone has written hello on the bricks in suit. Practically threw at my chair. Do you still meet up? Oh yeah, this week is a true crime novel. We always purchase an extra copy for the ghost in case he's interested. Have you ever seen the ghost? I've never seen him, but I've heard him. How so? I play piano for school and church, but I don't have one at home. But Mrs. Castillo lets me practice on the one in the lobby. Sometimes if it's quiet and there aren't many people around, I'll hear a man singing while I play. So I try to find songs that he likes. What does he like? Old stuff. And Lady Gaga. You're one of the Marines that the owner's son met? Yep. I genuinely did not believe Juan when he said that his family hotel was haunted till about last week. Well, what happened? Well, I got some CPTSD from my tour in Iraq. I'm on meds, but some nights you just can't sleep. So last week, I'm here because I don't want Juan's family hauled away by ICE, and I wandered around down here and came to the bar. It's open late. Was nursing a beer when this man, half my age, dressed all fancy with an old-timey vest and hat, he comes over and he sits next to me. I thought he was going to try hitting on me, but he didn't. Just sat and talked with me for hours. It's really nice not being alone. It's morning, I show up for a group breakfast, and I actually got my first good look at the old photograph hanging on the wall there. I was Juan's abuelo, no question. I've worked here as a bartender for 8 years now. About 5 years ago, we started hosting a horror movie night every month. We just use a projector on the screen in one of the big rooms. It's free entry, which is why it's legal, but we make a killing on food and drink sales. Anyway, no matter how hot we make the room, there's always this one cold spot in the back corner. Some people have said that they've even seen a man in an old-timey vest standing there. We put a chair out for him now.
Ghost Abuelo saved a woman's life last year.
Really? How so?
We had an elderly guest in one of our rooms. She slipped and fell trying to get out of the shower and couldn't get back up. Hit broken. The only reason we found was because one of our other guests called the front desk complaining about scratching and knocking coming from the room. I went there to look and I found her on the floor almost passed out.
Couldn't she have made those noises?
Oh, no. The scratching and knocking were on wood. Loud and echoes. The bathroom is all tile.
All right, sweet. Thank you for your time.
Maria, you have a minute?
Barely. I'm wondering if you still have any items that belong to your grandfather. I'd like to speak to him directly. I need this hotel room emptied out by 3 p.m. Until then, we can do all the ghost summoning we want. You know, I got a Ouija board specifically to talk to Abuelo. It works, too. He's always sharing lame dad jokes that he picks up from the guests and staff.
Well, I may end up using that, but I think he has enough power to show up in front of us physically. Maybe not for long. Ghosts are beings of energy, and if that energy is depleted, they have to lay low to regain it.
He's been meddling with ICE agents a lot. Yeah, a few days ago, one of the agents kept getting a phone call, but every time he answered, there was just this unholy shrieking coming out of it. And when he turned it off, it kept ringing. He almost pissed himself. I was so proud.
That's the thing. From what I've gathered, the type of genuinely chilling behavior is unusual from your abuelo.
But his usual stuff, cold spots, sporadic appearances, writing messages in a suit, that's his usual thing, right?
We'll sometimes hear someone walking around empty rooms or singing at night. Especially this one, it's his favorite. You see, ghosts don't typically do that stuff. Ghosts are what they are because they have unfinished business, usually cut off because of something very traumatic and horrible, which means when they do interact with the physical world, it's not usually for harmless stuff like this. It's to further their goal, whatever that is, and if necessary, to do real physical or psychological damage. That's where I come in.
But you just said that Abuelo doesn't do that. So what's your point?
I have a theory, but I want to verify it with him, and to make sure he's not unintentionally stuck on this side. Well, he may not be able to drink coffee anymore, but my grandmother said he could never resist the smell, which is why I have the pot running. It's even better mixed with hot chocolate.
Yeah. Bad grandpa.
Thank you for speaking with us. Well, you did make good smelling coffee. Oh, don't worry, Abuelo. I'll drink your share. It won't go to waste. You may have 1 cup.
Nana!
I had a couple of questions, if you don't mind.
Please.
You're our guest. It's somewhat personal. Can you tell me why you haven't moved on?
Well, I grew up in poverty. That's why I came to America to escape it, and why we stayed. I scraped together enough money to buy this hotel, but died less than a year later. My poor wife became a widow with a 2-year-old son. I had to stay to make sure that they were all right. And then suddenly everyone's saying the hotel is haunted. And you leaved it. At first I thought I'd made a mistake, but then we got more people coming in, paying for rooms and wandering the halls at night, trying to see me, stomping around the woods and working up an appetite for our restaurant. So I kept going. My grandmother leaned in too. She hired a young writer, who ended up marrying my father, to start a local newsletter that we delivered to all the local houses. All about the ghost here, yes, but also other ghost stories and serial killers and all kinds of creepy things. Now we have a digital blog. Right, and my grandson has a whole career writing scary novels, living in the big city now. And my great-great-granddaughter here, she's only 20 and she's already making little movies on that telephone of hers, all about scary, creepy things. And that's enough to pay the electric bill all on its own, without any guests coming in.
Oh, you run a TikTok account.
200,000 subs and growing. But since TikTok's monetization policy has tanked my paycheck, I've got to move over to YouTube.
I don't understand it at all. Honestly saying. So now that your family has been successful for so long, why not trust them to do this on their own and move on? I could. I think I've left them enough of a reputation that we would still get visitors. But I love doing this. My family is still here. They still have need of me, and so I stay. Besides, my wife and son come visit for a Dia de Todos los Santos, so I see them too. And besides Mr. McIntosh and maybe the odd ICE agent, have you ever gotten violent with anyone? No, but I'm not going to stop with them. I've heard what Senor McIntosh said over his telephone. He wants to lay everyone off so that way he can hire a new staff at lower wages and then raise the prices for all of the rooms and restaurant. And he wants to end all of our pride. We celebrate the same holidays as we did in Guatemala. We serve the food that my mother and grandmother used to make. We donate to food shells and charities. If he takes this place, that all ends. So basically, McIntosh wants to turn this place white. Gentrification. Financially, we could get a very good deal out of it, but we'd be selling out our own community. I refuse. Very good. Now he's trying to get my family, or at least their staff, arrested and shipped back to where they were trying to escape, or even locked up in prisons. A curse on him. I'll do you one better. Maria, I assume you've looked into hiring a lawyer? Yeah, but so has McIntosh, and his lawyer has already scared off several others. Not this one. Mr. McIntosh, I finished investigating the haunted hotel. And? Did you get rid of the ghost? And who is this? Cyrus Johnson. I represent the Castillo family and their Hotel Jacaranda. This is a cease and desist letter asking you to stop with your harassment. What? I haven't harassed anyone. Fine, but you will stop harassing them. As for the ghost, there's no reason to force him to the other side. He's causing no harm except in defense of his family who have invited him to live on their property. Legally, he's totally fine. Hey, he threatened me. You've been calling ICE on his family, their friends, and their staff, despite knowing that most, if not all of them, are here legally, directly putting their lives and freedoms on the line. Compared to that, breaking a few mirrors that the family itself had to pay for, not you, is a pretty measured response. You know, whatever they're paying you, I could triple it if it came on my side. Sorry, I already ate their peppy head. Pep what? It's a type of chicken stew. It's really good. They're paying you in soup? And cheesy pupusas, which I ate while drafting that letter. My firm runs on donations and spite. You keep trying this shit, and I'll see you in court. Welcome to Hotel Jacaranda. Jean, Cyrus, how are you? I am fantastic, and also starving. You ate 2 muffins and a bag of chips on the ride over here. That was a whole half hour ago. We've got dinner for you in the restaurant. Perfect. Any news from McIntosh? Nothing. And ICE hasn't shown up since you confronted him. Maybe keep your friends close just in case. McIntosh might not bother you anymore, but others could. Oh, I know. In fact, we got a witch to come and give some extra protection to this place. It's hard to find one that won't immediately think Abuelo's a bad spirit and try to push him out, but we finally got in touch with one who practices Mayan witchcraft. Honestly, I think she just gave Abuelo some extra power. He's been a lot more visible since then. Speaking of, evening Maria, John, Barry, so, if you want an extra layer, the Stoughton Street Coven up in Bernier does good work. So does my boss. She goes by Bob. I actually got a bad luck charm from her that I had put on McIntosh. Just slipped it in his office while we were talking to him. You didn't. When you know it, his stocks have suddenly crashed. So now he has to scramble just to keep his current investments afloat. He's not going to be able to buy any other properties for a while. I'll pretend I didn't hear that. Dinner is served. Yum. Whoa, that's a lot of food. You know my stomach can only fit so much, right? You're the size of a stick. We need to fatten you up. I'll take the leftovers from my assistants and paralegals. Wait, you pay them in food? Hell no, they get an actual paycheck. But if I don't give them at least some of this, I'm looking at a walkout.
In a field where angels sing, fairy dust and golden rings, queens of old with strength from within, rise above with a gentle spin through wings like steel in soft moonlight. Farm whispers, stories untold, legends woven from threads of gold. Rise up, queen, in the night so bright. Carry on through dawn's soft light. With a whisper, fierce and kind, lead the way, free your mind. Women tall like ancient trees, bend but never break with ease. Farmers' hands, gentle touch, in their grace powers much. Angels dance on fields of hay, fairies guide through night and day. Warriors with crowns unseen, queens of freedom, hearts pristine. Rise up, queen, in the night so bright. Carry on through dawn's soft light. With a whisper, fierce and kind, lead the way, free your mind. We were sparks in the endless night, shadows cast by a distant light. Fragile frames, but hearts of steel. They thought we'd bend, but we learned to feel. Through the void, we carved our name against the odds. We lit the flame. Rise up, we're breaking through the stars. Human spirit, burning like quasars. Rise up, they'll never see us fall. One small voice, but it echoes through it all. They said we'd crumble, they said we'd fade, but we are storms that the heavens made. Our blood runs fire, our dreams won't die. We touch the edge of the infinite sky. Through the dark, we find our way. Turn the night into endless day. Rise up, we're breaking through the stars. Human spirit, burning like quasars. Rise up. One small voice, but it echoes through